Hi, and welcome to Episode 5, Series 1 of Rob Purfield's DriveTime video podcast series. You joined me this morning as I drive along the M60 on my way to Manchester Airport, on my way to hopefully sunny Belgrade. I just thought I'd spend a couple of minutes chatting to you about a conversation I had yesterday in a dealer group when we were talking about negotiation on the part exchange. And what came out that I thought was interesting was the lack of understanding that the part exchange appraisal is the start of the negotiation. Now, that's not to say that we should be discussing prices or talking about repair costs or in any way overtly talking money at such an early stage. But the part exchange appraisal sets the frame and the credibility for the pricing later. Now, briefly, just to kind of give you the backdrop of my thinking on this, is that all negotiations should be third party. And that's not just in the motor industry. At any level, good negotiation is always third party. You should never have two decision makers sat together, because there always needs to be a justification in terms of a move in price. So, in essence, the situation should always be that the responsibility for valuing the part exchange or putting a figure on it actually belongs to someone else, and normally that would be the sales manager. So the challenge for us then is, how do we set the frame for that negotiation? Well, the most important thing is there's a credibility in the price that we actually deliver. And that's really where the part exchange appraisal comes in. If you think that the average customer probably arrives in your showroom about £1,000 to £1,500 away from the actual value of their car, although in this day and age many of them do know the value of their car because they will have put the registration into things like webuyanycar.com. But when they come in, they're £1,000 or £1,500 away in terms of what they are asking for their car. The last thing we should ever do is ask them how much they want for their car. Because if they say, let's suppose it's a £4,000 car, then you're going to stand it in as a stock car at £4,000 standing value. And the customer says to you, I want £5,500. In terms of the frame of that negotiation, the price is only going to go down from £5,500. So therefore, whatever the outcome is, the customer actually is going to lose. In their own perception, psychologically they're going to lose because the price has gone from 5,500 down. So if we don't ask the customer, but actually if we proactively take every customer out with us to do the part exchange appraisal, when we walk around the car, we touch any dents, any scratches, any marks, we just touch them and mark them on the appraisal form. And when we've completed a full appraisal with the customer in attendance, without discussing anything, let the customer do all the talking. And as I'm sure you know, if you just touch and mark, the customer will explain each blemish on their car. I also suggest that you have a tyre gauge, because if you go anywhere near somebody's tyres with a tyre gauge, you normally get a comment such as, yeah, I know it needs tyres, but as I'm selling it, I thought I wouldn't bother. Every one of those kind of comments diminishes the customer's perceived value of their car, and it rocks their confidence. So if they think they were going to ask you for 5,500 and you do a really good appraisal without talking about anything, then you actually probably get them mentally to think, well, okay, I'll be happy with 5,000, maybe a bit less. You're going to take that amount of money off their perceived value. So a used car appraisal for me should take anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes. It should have the customer accompanying you. You should go all around the car. You should look under the bonnet. You should look at the spare wheel. You should go for a drive with the customer. And you should complete every box on the appraisal form. Now, if there are boxes on the appraisal form that you don't need to put information in, then that's okay. Just write not applicable or N/A in there. But when the appraisal is finished, the appraisal form should have every box filled in. It should have every mark noted, and it should have exact millimeters on the tyres. the thing to remember is that the appraisal form is not for you, and it's not really for your manager. The appraisal form is for the customer, because when you finish the appraisal, and this is where you're pre-framing your negotiation, when you finish the appraisal, you give it to the customer and you ask the customer to check through it and say, is that a good appraisal of your car? Are we agreed that that's an appraisal of your car? Bizarrely enough, if you've never done this, what will happen is that if you've missed anything, the customer will point it out to you and say, oh no, you've missed this, you've missed that. The essence of it, once you've got to the point and say, yeah, I agree, that is an appraisal of my car, is ask the customer to okay it. Now, part of the conversation we were having yesterday with the team is, don't ask the customer to sign it. The word sign on the appraisal is too early. So just, is that a good appraisal of your car? If you're happy with that, then can I just ask you to okay it and get them to okay it? What you've now got is the customer's agreement of all the problems and all the blemishes on their car. So when you get to the negotiation stage and you come out with the market value of their car, you've got a justification of why that is the market value. So in summary, for today's message, just remember that the part exchange appraisal is the start point, is setting the frame for the negotiation. So therefore, what we really need to focus on is doing an absolute first-class job on the appraisal. Not because it will help in terms of our used car values, it will, but that's a byproduct actually, but because it will help us when we get to the point of negotiation. We'll have credibility when we present the price. When you then come out with your used car price later on in the process, you'll be amazed at how much easier it is to negotiate. I hope that's been helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you need any more information, then please do feel free to get in touch. And if you want to download any of my free information, then as ever you can at www.robpurfield.com. And as ever, if you want to leave some comments down at the bottom here, then please do feel free to leave some comments. Always like to hear your anecdotes, your stories, and interact with you. And other than that, good selling, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Cheers.